And also, truth crashed to earth shall rise again. And finally, my friends, what time is it? You know the answer. You know the answer. Yeah, nation time, nation time, nation time. And now I've added a new addition to nation time. So it's not just a slogan, no, but the agenda will be slowly revealed. It's not just a slogan. No nation has been built on any slogan. Anyway, before I start, let me say, I don't know whether it's good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are watching me from worldwide. Auntie Margaret from Germany. Oh man, I've been receiving your messages, and I know you are spot on, and you are actually immersed in this whole spirit of nation time. So, Auntie Margaret, I just wanted to take a second to acknowledge you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Anyway, folks, what am I talking about today? And what I'm going to talk about is quite, I think, relevant, because no matter what, the media can be polarized. It is understandable. If you want to go to the advanced democracies, like in the US, they have media and they all have their leanings. I won't say polarized, I'll say leanings. There are some media in the US that are very Republican, that had Republican media. There are media that is democratic, and there's media that's independent. So all I'm saying is that media can have a leaning and tilting. No, nothing, no news about that. In Ghana, we also have similar things, except ours is more rigid and ours is more partisan. We have the MPP media, we have the NDC media. And here's the thing, when NDC is reigning, it's like their media is the main thing there, and everything is NDC media. When the MPP is reigning, that's the same thing, All I'm saying, folks, it's nothing surprising when any media has a leaning. And I think the only difference in Africa, let me not talk about Africa, we're talking about Ghana. I think the only difference in Ghana is this, that when the paper decides that they are MPP and they lean towards the MPP, they will defend anything that the MPP does, good or bad. They better defend it. Similarly, on the NDC side, the same thing. The NDC, so I'm leaning towards you. Whatever you do will be defended. That's a slight difference, because elsewhere, for example, you can find a paper that is very, very, very Republican. But on certain issues, they will challenge the Republicans that, Charlie, I think here you went wrong. And vice versa. You can have a Democratic paper that will stand up against whatever the Democrats are doing on certain issues. All I'm saying is that in Ghana, there's it's automatic. Now, why am I laying all this foundation? Because apart from the pro or anti-government kind of media setup we have in Ghana, then we have something very, very interesting. It's called Jandam. And when I hear the name Jandam, I laugh. Do you know why I laugh? Because most of you young guys who are now coming, some of us have been around a long, long, long time. But these young guys that are coming, you talk about Jandam, Charlie, you Jandam. You Jandam. Let me tell you, Jandam goes so far back before you were born. It started as propaganda. We won't get into that propaganda element yet. But let me tell you what Jandam is. And Jandam, way back in the 60s, Nkrumah faced one of the biggest Jandams in the world. There was no social media. Nothing. Just the media. Let me tell you what Jandam is. Okay? Jandam is simply when a group of people get together to push a certain ideology and a certain belief couched in a lie. But guess what? It is so well couched in the lie, and they push the lie out there That's what we guys now call Jandam. In Nkrumah's day, do you know what they called it back in the day? It was called the big lie. So all of you who love Jandam, all of you who do Jandam now, all you are doing is what is originally called the big lie. So what is the big lie? The big lie is to sit down and carefully craft something, an issue, a story, totally fabricated. It's a lie. Different than the big lie, no. Now what makes it a big lie is this, that it is so well crafted, so well fabricated. And this is where newspapers will sit down. Newspaper A, B, C, D, E, F. When they sit down, they actually decide which newspaper will carry what aspect of the lie. So you get up in the morning, you buy this paper, it is this headline about the lie. You buy this paper, it is the headline about the lie. You go and tune in the news, it's about the lie. You look on TV, it's about the lie. It is called the big lie. And that is what Ghana has, I don't know whether to say transmogrified, what name it used to be. But it has been transformed into what they call Jandam in Ghana. So all you Jandam, you have to put the Jandam, Jandam. All you are saying is you're going to create a big lie. Now let me tell you what it is about. It is with this big lie thing. It is so powerful. Folks, it's been used in ways. Hitler time they were using the big lie. And you know, the big lie goes so far back. And the big lie is to craft something for you to believe or to disbelieve, but it's all aimed at one thing: changing your mindset. You know, one time I said politics is all about capturing the hearts and the minds of people. If you want to capture the hearts and the minds of people, that's what you do in politics. If you want a big electorate, try and capture the hearts and their minds. What Jandam does is the same thing. But if they, for example, think that these people are swaying towards the right or swaying towards the left, Jandam has to craft something that will capture them to sway them back to whichever direction that they want to go. And if any Jandam, it's called the big lie. Why am I saying this? Because it is a very active part of our politics. Jandam, very, very active part of our politics. There are media people as we speak now who have already set or are setting an agenda to go either way, for or against. But it's a plan. It is well calculated. That's what Jandam is all about too. In Nkrumah, most of you were not born. Even I was born when Nkrumah was overthrown. I think I was 9 years old. So Mikra Mitia talking big cry. How much at 9 years old did I know about the Nkrumah regime? Nothing but what I grew up and read. But let me tell you, the lies, the fabrications, and the beautiful thing about the big lie is this, or Jandam is this. The Jandam can be so convincing that even when it is against your party, you accept it as truth. So convincing. It happens. So it's even against your own party, and you say, hey, Charlie, wait, they're watching you. Charlie, this one, there's a heavy blow. Because you believe it. That's how good Jandam can be. And before I come to contemporary Jandam, let me take you all the way back to Kwame Nkrumah. One of the biggest lies about Kwame Nkrumah was how he destroyed all of Ghana's money. Nkrumah just threw away our money. And Ghana was in such debt. I think back in the day they were quoting like 140 million or something. And the Jandam, or the big lie, was that is what Nkrumah has done to us. It is only after a while then people started realizing that no, Nkrumah had investments, not debt. Akosombo Dam was an investment. The whole Tema township, he invested in it. He built industry in it, no investment. The dry dock. At one point, they had something called the Black Star Line. It was a fleet of ships. I think the Black Star Line, God, I don't remember, but we had about 20 plus ships. And all of this money went into them. But there were investments to pay back later. But at the time of the coup, when the gendarme then started, it was this big lie about how Nkrumah has messed up. And hear me out, folks. Even ardent followers of Kwame Nkrumah believed it. To date, you may even get some people say, oh, Charlie, me, I like Nkrumah power, but I don't like how he wasted all our money and blah, 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 blah. Today, the gendarme is working. Nkrumah has been gone how many years? That is the power of gendarme. And gendarme is so powerful, especially when influential media people meet and they decide that, Charlie, your target will throw you gendarme. You'll be surprised how effective it was. I talked about Nkrumah. Nkrumah was long ago, back in the day, you know. And JJ also suffered massive gendarme. But JJ came from a military wing. You know, it wasn't like we went to an election and we voted for JJ, and it was a majority Democratic vote. He came in as a revolutionary from a revolutionary wing. But still, when the people decided we have had enough of you, there was massive gendarme. Oh, my own friend Kogubakon, he says, I will strip JJ naked. That means he was bent and intent, whatever it was, to create the belief that something was wrong. And the gendarme that JJ and people went through, I won't even talk about it now, but it was gendarme. The only reason that people do not really pay attention to that period was because Ono evolutionary, he was a coup maker. You know, so when they're doing gendarme, you're against him. So we took that for granted. But trust me, gendarme was used in this era. There was one time that the biggest news going abroad was this huge, what do you call it, jacuzzi that Nadu Kunadu had bought, and she was chilling in it. And it's amazing. Papers crafted talking about this. You believe it. Anyway, the big lie, that's what it is. So all you people in the media, Ghanaians, please understand the word gendarme. Gendarme simply means a fabricated, created big lie. And you push the lie and push the lie and push the lie on radio. So you see in the newspaper, you see in the social media, everywhere you think, you see the lie, and then you start believing the lie. Gendarme. Let's come back to the recent times and how somebody as current as our current president, Mahama's first time presidency, well, especially after Professor Mills died and Mahama became the president, my goodness, gendarme is what? And I'm talking about gendarme that was so effective and so dynamic that even his whole communication team were confused, actually. They didn't know what to do. That is the power of gendarme. That is the power of the big lie. How many lies didn't we hear? Me, I don't know about you, but at one point, I heard that Mahama had bought a hotel in Dubai. I read about this, I heard about this, and it was all over. And the reason I was thinking, is this gendarme, was this true? Is this the big lie? No, you know why? I changed my mind that, oh, this story right here is because one friend that I know, a very, very, very good friend of mine, who is a die-in-the-wool NDC. I kid you not. If he's listening to me, no, he knows he told me this. He said, oh, Charlie, Dubai will tell you true. That is the power of gendarme. This is a die-in-the-wool NDC. He actually got to some point where he said, no! Mahama had a hotel in Dubai. It is called the big lie, folks. It is called the big lie. And you make the lie so entrenched How many people from back in the day, in Nkrumah's day, didn't believe that Nkrumah had a goddess called Kankanyami? That was one of the big lies. So he had a goddess called Kankanyami. To date, I'm sure you find people older than me who believe saying banana Kankanyami there. They'll talk about it. That is the power of the big lie. How many of us did not know that Mahama and Lodina owned DKM, that financial microfinance company? That was the belief. Mahama and Lodina there. And it was entrenched. People go to demonstrations and they have placards, about how DKM belonged to Mahama and Lodina. Folks, all I'm telling you is that Jandam is nothing but a big lie. And the lie is so big, it is so mighty, that even people who are in whichever party at some point will believe that, hey, this one there might be true. That is Jandam. And who in Ghana did not believe this Airbus scandal? This phenomenal Airbus scandal in which the president of Ghana was directly implicated. The news, the newspapers, wherever, the big lie. Jandamo, who did not believe, and this one, my good friend Manasseh started it, about this Ford Explorer, and there was some truth, but it was mixed up with a whole lot of misunderstandings and misinformation. But it was so well crafted, it cost him his presidency. It's all part of the big lie. The gift that was supposed to have been given to Mahama was actually in the presidential pool being used by former President Kufuor. Used it. But that's what we're talking about. And it's all called the big lie, folks. And I know why I'm saying this, so that we all become aware of this thing. I can say Jandam. Jandam is evil. Jandam is nothing but what political scientists call the big lie. How many of us did not hear that Tema Port had been sold by Mahama? Waton Port, and this was widely spoken everywhere. He has sold the port.
Yeah, let me say, I am ready to go to NDC. Sir Jomama, Timber say Tema Port no ton, so Baba ye president, Adiachi or Baji Port no be a Ghana for I am for NDC. And today na stop on to me Kasa me John Dramani Mahama. Tema Port na me ye mistake ton, me sha Ghana mabunu boise, me ba me back.
Mahama buy or port no 7 billion. So himself, yeah. Mahama de atoye. What I say? And this for the toyo.
Back 2016. And I will turn Tema Port operations.
And I'm not talking about say when the big lie happens, it's just some small grassroots people who take the lie. No. It goes from grassroots to the top hierarchy of university professors and university dons and deans and thick politicians. All are subject to the big lie. Once upon a time, I say I confirmed Guinea fowl. The Guinea fowl, when they were hitting this sada or whatever, you see, the Guinea fowl actually flew. And that story was on the lips of people that who born you to go and say, oh, it's not true. And confirm not to. Folks, Jandam. It's a big lie. It is a big lie. So this is what I'm saying, that in every political jurisdiction you have papers that have leanings. Except that I know that in Ghana, when the leanings are not in favor of a certain direction, in comes Jandam to really create a big lie that will make sure that it can either destroy the political career or destroy the vim and the vigor, and it will hurt you. So Jandam, folks, I'm talking about Jandam because we have started another era, folks. And I said all the time on this show, this is one time we have to get it right as a nation. I'm telling you, if you look at the election results of the politics, if you look at the way people voted, if you knew that, if you look at the internal fire that was burning in people to go out and vote this massively and this decisively, they were sending a very, very clear message that, listen, folks, the past 8 years, we want a clean break from it. Let's move in another direction. And not only did we say that, people have gone to the polls to actually vote for that. That's what I'm saying. So if in spite of all of this, NDC fails, the nation fails, in spite of all of this, we are doomed. And I'm saying this because one of the things that can engineer a failure is to get a group of media people who decide that Charlie will jam down you. And you'll be surprised what they will say and how much impact that will make. The only saving grace that we can have is that whichever government is in power, to make sure that they have a communications team that is tight, that will respond. I think recently, Mahama, what's his name? Manasseh wrote something and called Mahama the new clearing agent or something, the new chief clearing, something like that, about certain decisions the judiciary has made. And immediately I hear the Attorney General responded. I mean, come on, man. That was brilliant. The Attorney General responded that no. Maybe you agree with me, maybe you don't agree with me, but these are the reasons why we did what we did. The Attorney General responded. So this is what I'm saying, that Jandam will not go away. But if whoever is in power now, and now is NDC, if you don't get a crack communication team that is out there to actually clear all kinds of misinformation, then sit down and watch tight, because plenty are coming. Oh, it hasn't even started. You know? It hasn't even started. Whatever you see that you think have started, as we say in Ghana, comedies. It hasn't even started. Plenty are coming. So I just decided to talk about Jandam for Ghanaians to understand that Jandam is not a recent phenomenon. When I see the small journalists now who think they are gurus of Jandam and think that Jandam has made them so powerful, so that now they have the power of the Jandam to dictate the flow and direction of government, I'm telling you, please, chill. Jandam was there way before you were born, but you have come up with a very nice name called Jandam. Jandam is known in political science and political history as the big lie. I can sit down here and tell you the series of big lies that came up against Kwame Nkrumah. That is why he was the most hated. Some of you may not know because you are not born. Nkrumah was the most hated and the most despicable person for Ghanaians. At one point, the government announced that if you have Kwame Nkrumah's book, if you're seen holding a book of Kwame Nkrumah, you could be arrested. They organized bonfires on university campuses to burn every book written by Kwame Nkrumah. That's the strength of the big lie. Nkrumah was so evil. This was the devil. And you have to clear everything Nkrumah has done. We burnt Nkrumah's books. Then they had bonfire. Nobody would dare publish an Nkrumah book. Back in the day, that's what we did to Kwame Nkrumah. But this is interesting. Truth crashed to earth, shall rise again. Burning his books, changing history, trying to cancel his birthday, on your founder, or day. At the end of the day, when BBC was doing a poll on who they consider the African of the millennium, was Kwame Nkrumah. Truth crashed to earth, shall rise again. So I'm also saying this. We have another chance to build this nation, folks. We have another chance to unite Ghana and move Ghana on And from where I'm sitting, the most deadly thing that can affect us can be Jannam. The big lie. So Ghanaians, please be aware and stand by. And when you hear things, try and be discerning to know whether this is true or this is just a big lie. Because it hasn't started, but trust me, it will come. Trust me, it will come. And what I feel very, very sad about journalism or the media in Ghana is this, and then I'll move on to my next subject. The media is known as the fourth estate. There are three main arms of government. We have the executive, who is the president. We have the legislature, which is the parliament. And then we have the judiciary, the Supreme Court and other courts. These are the three arms of government. And there's another so powerful agency, which is supposed to be independent as well. And that's the media. That's why we take those three arms of government, and the media is called the fourth estate. And I'm telling you, when you have a responsible, dynamic, focused media, they alone can build a nation. And when you have a partisan, reckless media as well, they alone can wreck the nation. So me, I'm calling for the media. I don't care where you stand politically. You have the right to stand where you want to stand. So I don't care. But please, there's nothing called I'm a neutral. Media, I'm a neutral. That's bullcrap. You can't be neutral in the media. You can be truthful. And you can be truthful and practice Jandam. If you disagree with the government, it's your right. If you disagree, I will definitely get to points where I may disagree totally with the direction of whichever government is in power and where it is going. So, I just disagree with them. And I can let them know, look, I disagree with what you say, but I'm going to go back door and create a lie and carve a lie so I can come up and then spread this lie. No, that is not the role of media. I heard this man saying one time that when the things were looking so bad and the economy was bashing them, then he stayed in his room to come up with a story on the Airbus. He said it. And he said that's part of politics. You have to understand where you have to do things like that to change the direction of the... He would sit down and come up with some angle on the Airbus and create a whole more news.
Adopt a strategy to save a whole political party from a whole mess when the economy is bashing the whole government. I'm saying this on record. Economy Ghana for se come there. Obi antie de eka. Then makofa Airbus asemaba. Strategically, we see me there. Muna matimi carry Airbus assembly. Meba. I'm just trying to tell you that strategy is very key in politics.
That is Jandam. And lest I forget, Papano. Hey, the media is powerful. Do you remember Papano?
We also saw that our former president, John Dramani Mahama, recently, we have saw a guest, Tracy Boachi and Mesbeh, showing off their houses. Where did they get the money to buy that house? And they keep on saying, Papano, my old man. Now this is what is in town now. Papano, the tall man, sir. Papano, you go to the Facebook and YouTube and stuff, you will know how the former president Mahama has used our money, and we know his pay. Where did he get the money to buy these houses for them? Because they are boasting about not one or two houses, or not one or two or three cars. Where did he get it from?
Papano, I want to encourage Papano.
And these are things that people sat down and thought about it and crafted. Be very, 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 very careful. We have entered a new time. We have entered a new era And I have not made it any secret that I support a reset of this nation. I've started in my own small way trying to get Ghanaians to reset their minds and their thinkings, because it is needed and it will happen no matter how long it takes. No matter how long it takes, no matter how difficult it is, trust me, some of us, not just me, plenty of us are committed to seeing that this resetting is done. And we'll keep doing it and keep doing it. Now, some very little parts that I want to end the show on today. You know, this is not Jandam. This is speaking truthfully about how right now, as we speak, upset I am with JM, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. Master, I'm upset with you. But I'm not going to go and create a lie. I'm going to look you straight in the face and tell you why I'm upset with you. Now, everybody's wondering, why is KSM so upset? Let me tell you, folks. Mahama, for some strange reason, has decided that Ghana is turning 68. But for once, he doesn't want any elaborate Independence Day celebrations. On pet celebrations, but he doesn't want any elaborate Independence Day celebrations. Because he wants something very, very small. Maybe some small thing at the Flagstaff House and maybe only a few people. Something small. Not the huge display of aircraft and machinery and everything. No, he wants something small. And I am saying, Mahama, I'm looking in the face and saying, I'm very upset with you. Listen, folks. Ghana is 68 years old. How many countries in Africa, after 68 years of independence, can spend $58 million to dig a hole for a swimming pool? Actually, it wasn't supposed to be a swimming pool. It ended up being a swimming pool. Folks, how many countries can clear a whole place costing hundreds of millions of dollars? I'm going to build a cathedral for God. Mahama, you see why I'm upset with you? This is the time for us to celebrate. I was hoping that you come on our 68th anniversary, announce that God has moved you to go back and rekindle and build a cathedral for God. That is where salvation will come from. Or you didn't listen to some of the journalists that were telling you? You didn't listen. Let me remind you.
People said you should go and put it in pram, you should go and put it somewhere. And you give the first fruits to God. You remember Cain and Abel? That's the first thing that worried me. Have we forgotten the Cain and Abel story? You want to give something to God, you go and take it to some faraway place that is not yet developed. Why don't you go and develop the place, and when the place is prime, you give it to God? You give to God prime. You don't give to God far away. That's the first lesson. And we have to understand, as a country, we are a people with a culture. Nat Bruce said, we are coming from somewhere. And look at the history of our country. Is there not a missing jigsaw in the economic development and the greatness of Ghana? Can't you see that something is missing? What have we not done? The things you're asking finance minister to do to save the city, what haven't we done since 1961? We've done and done and done and done, and it's still missing. The God thing is significant. We have a society, a country that is overcome by demonic activity in the earth.
I'm sorry, I have to remind Mahama, this is our salvation. And you say you won't celebrate Independence Day. Say how? People have done dynamic things in this country. This beautiful lady, industrious. This is a symbol that Ghanaians should learn to emulate. That the president should be respecting on Independence Day. Single lady. I think allegedly at the National National Service Secretariat had over 80,000 names plus on payroll, ghost names. So in a month, she was raking in about what, 56 million in a month? And multiply that times 12, that would be the year. And multiply that by times 8, that would be the 8 years. And John Dramani Mahama, you won't call her and honor her on Independence Day for creativity? And you actually have the nerve to tell us that you won't celebrate Independence Day at all. Anyway, folks, I don't want to talk too much. I just wanted you to see why, for the first time, you have seen me upset with my president for canceling Independence Day when there are all these magnificent things we could have celebrated. Okay, folks. Okay, I know. You know I'm kidding around. So let's just end on a serious note. I was so glad when I heard that information.
Mahama has asked that rotational policy be suspended because of the need to scale down. And this has become necessary due to escalating costs. It has been discovered after some review that the rotation imposed additional costs. And therefore, at a time when our national budget is severely constrained due to economic difficulties, it was not going to be sustainable to keep rotating the national celebrations. Indeed, if I were to put figures on how much it costs to hold these celebrations, you will find that depending on where the celebrations are sent, there is significant cost implications. For instance, the last celebrations that were held in Ho cost the country a staggering 15 million Ghana cedis. There is a need to reprioritize government expenditure. And one of the areas where savings can be made is this independence celebration. He believed that it is entirely possible to hold modest but significant events to mark this important occasion without breaking the national pace. For that reason, he has decided that this year's celebration will not take on the spectacular form that we have been used to over the years. We are going to have a significant ceremony at the presidency, and this will ensure that we minimize the often huge financial implications that come with this celebration.
Just the idea of deciding, essentially, I'm not going to celebrate 68 years of nothing. Mahama, I salute. We're expecting to celebrate 68 years of nothing. Chaos. That's what we're expecting him. And I say, Charlie, let's cancel this. I'm sure many people are pissed because now procurement was going to get into full gear. Those who are going to procure new songs for the soldiers to march, procure new armed equipment, procure this chocolate for the schools, the kids who are marching, procurement. I'm sure I'm all for building almost plans, new budget in the painting, they're going to paint their houses in their share budget for procurement. So, Mahama, I salute. Thank you for taking that action. And please, media, I go all the way out. It's very, very interesting. I was telling the producer at one time, Chalemi, I want to do a show and call that we should so let's suspend this Independence Day. What use is it? Then the soldiers come and display their military wear. Then Air Force flies. I'm sure they have to fuel all the planes, all the tankers. Now yet dang. What are we trying to show as a broke-ass country that is highly indebted, that is begging on our knees in front of the IMF? We have the nerve to have a splendid, extravagant celebration of independence. For what? Independence for what? So, Your Excellency, let me, on the serious side, let me thank you for this. And I truly salute you. And I truly hope that you have the support of Ghanaians, that it's not just Independence Day, more are coming. Just let's be serious as a nation. Folks, while I take off my hat to JM, I also have to take off my hat to the OSP, man. This guy is serious. And In the interest of time, I can't get into this, but please join us on our next episode where we take a look about what is happening in Ghana. The idea, I never ever dreamt in my imagination that the finance minister will be declared a wanted fugitive in this country. But OSPIO, we'll talk about that next time. My final thing. And this one, I think I'm addressing, what is it, Ufusukwachi, Communications. Ufusukwachi, I don't know who are the members of the NDC that are supposed to be whipping the members into line. But this, your empty seats must stop. It is shameful. Today, as I talk, look at the empty seats. And this is a government that has come with vim and vigor, and they're going to do amazing things. Whoever your majority whip, whoever you are, look at these seats. How long should Ghanaians continue to see this on TV? Are you not ashamed? Are you not ashamed at these empty seats? When does sitting down and talking about government business begin? Does this look like a nation that is ready for resetting? Look at the seats. These are where the majority are supposed to be seated to make rules and think about our nation. Shame on you. So to the majority leader, my good friend, Mahama Ayariga, please do something. Do something. So that when I come and sit here next week, I won't be showing empty seats at your parliament. Because if this thing continues, we're going to change gear. And I'm just going to sit here and do national sloganeering.